Hello everyone, welcome back to Coding with Carl and the Zero to Android show, the show where we go deep into the bowels of Android Studio and Java development. And the aim of this stream is to prove that you don't have to be an expert in Java, you don't have to have a degree in computer science, you don't have to do that much really, other than get a basic grasp of programming principles in order to do anything in software development. You can do it. You just have to get stuck in and be willing to learn and question everything and just dig until you have something that resembles what you wanted to make. And that's what we've been doing. I started this stream about 42 hours worth of stream time ago with absolutely zero experience with Java or Android, and we've got to the point within 42 hours where we have a somewhat workable application. We have an application that allows you to allocate slots of time, and these are half-an-hour slots throughout your day, to let's say we wanted to do something at let's have a look, 1600 here today, and that would be dance, because man does dance, for an hour, and the goal would be to get good at dance. As we see, it's gone in. Bit concerned I must have clicked the no goal button, but yeah, now that's all very well and good, but we don't want to be doing this every single night to plan the next day, do we? What we want to be able to do is schedule tasks, and this schedule task if you like has become a bit of a white whale. We've been working on it for somewhere in the region of 6 hours now, and it's getting fairly tedious. Now, as you can see, if you look behind me, I am moving house. And that's going to happen over the next couple of days, and therefore this stream will be on somewhat of a hiatus until I am settled in the new house and set up ready for streaming. Don't know how fast the internet connection is going to be there yet, so it's going to be a bit up in the air, which means I would very much love to finish the work that we've been on scheduled tasks. Basically, I'd love to get to a point where when I pick up the stream again, I don't have any unresolved logic problems that I have to then refamiliarize myself with. It's bad enough doing it after the weekend. Doing it after a house move would be very difficult. So that's what I'm going to try and do today. Now, if you're new to the stream and you want to catch up on any of the earlier episodes of the show, or maybe while the show is on hiatus, you want to catch up on the previous streams, I have a YouTube channel. It's Coding with Carl, that's K and K. And there's a Zero to Android playlist right here on my channel that contains all the previous episodes of this show. Now, let's crack on. The problem we were having is we have a day of month operation in scheduled tasks, and what I want to be able to do is say, okay, on the 14th of every month I want to do a certain task. Now the problem is, if we run this in debug mode, we'll see that the logic we've written here isn't really working, because we're close to recognizing what day it is, but we're a few days off. And I need to refamiliarize myself with it now, because I have had a weekend since I last worked on this, and when we last worked on it, I was extremely tired, and my brain wasn't working properly, and I probably made a load of dumb mistakes. So let's jump straight into the debugger. And go to schedule tasks. Now we're going to do day of month at 6 AM for 1 hour. Day, let's say, what's today's date? Today's date is the 21st, so let's say the 22nd, so that hopefully we'll see this appear in our tomorrow list. Select task. We'll do something along the lines of have breakfast with mom. No goal. And here we are. So first thing we do is we get the top of the year. Let's skip over that line and look at what that gave us. Copy value, jump over to our trusty epoch converter right here and paste. Now that gives us, in my local time zone, Monday, January the 1st, 12 AM. Hang on a second. My local time zone shouldn't have changed. We should still be in British summertime. That's weird. That's really weird. Hi Kit DK, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, BST. So epoch converter has either failed. How unlike this website. Okay, well we know that we got January the 1st, right? And we know that that's UTC. Do we? I don't know. This could complicate things. But the important thing to remember here is that this puts us at day 1. Does that matter at this point? No, it doesn't. Okay, so what I'm conscious of as we burn through this is if I jump down, we get seconds of year elapsed. So that's top of working day. So that's the day that we're looking at right now, which will be today. Why can't I paste that? Copy value. Oh, copying the wrong one. Top of working days there. Copy value. Straight in there. Boom. Sunday. So that's okay. So now it's picked up my time zone. How bizarre. That's really weird. Okay. So now it's picked up that today is the 21st of May. And that is in my local time zone. So if this one's UTC and this one's in my local time zone, then we already have an hour's difference between those two, don't we? Days elapsed since the top of the year. Do I want to do it in my local time zone or not? That is the question. And I think it would be good to add the offset to this top of year before we do anything else. Let's set a marker here. And let's do get top of year. Where is that? It's here. So yeah, this does not account for time zone. Where do we have offset? Let's grab those lines there and jump back to where the marker was. So if we put something in here like this, and then we do top of year minus equals minus equals offset, then we have like parity between those two now, don't we? They're on the same time zone. So when we do seconds of year elapsed now, we won't be missing an hour from it because we care about the year in terms of the time zone that we're in. So days elapsed, we can then, that should then divide evenly by this number. So hopefully it should not be a floating point value, but it will be this time around because we haven't restarted the application since we did it. So let's do that. Compilation failed. Why? Because of this. Time zone is probably defined elsewhere. Let's have a look. No, it's not. It's there, look. We have offset already. Okay. Yeah, so that then should give us a nice integer number. And we'll run it ourselves, I think, just to make sure. here we go again. Schedule tasks. Day of month, 6 AM. We'll do 7 AM this time, 30 minutes. Not day one, we don't want day one. 7, 30 minutes, and day of month. We want day 22. Go. Breakfast with mom, no go. Okay, here we are again. Let's jump ahead just a bit so that we can get seconds of year elapsed. So seconds of year elapsed, what's that? That's 6,000, that's 96,000, that's no 196,000. So that's like 12 million. So if we divide that then by 86,400, we get 140 days passed. And that's a nice round number. So we're already at an advantage over where we were on Friday. Feeling good. Brain has not exploded yet. So now we set some things up. Working day of year, working month, and J. Top of month equals 0. I'm not sure why we're doing that exactly. We'll jump down and see. So we're doing while J equals less than days elapsed, which is 140. We are going to add days to the top of the year. Now we're already starting at the first and we're adding this in seconds, aren't we? So let's see. So we're doing working day of year, which is 0 now, yep. Plus the number of days in the month we're looking at. Okay, here we go. So if the working day of year, which is 0 now, plus the number of days in January is more than days elapsed, then the top of the month equals top of year plus working day of year times 86,400. All right, so let's just run this through then. So that should jump straight over there because we need to get to 140. This is going to add 31 days to working day of year. Where are you? There, 31. Then we're going to jump increment J, and then, okay, that's a problem because J is never going to get to 140, so that is a problem. And I don't know why we're using J, to be honest, because what we should be using is working day of year, I believe. Let's change that. I don't like that. We don't need this. Get rid of that. Oh, okay. We did need J. We did need J because it allows us to index things. Right, but this should not have been J. This should have just been while true, I guess. It's not. Okay, so that gives us the index to look up the month, the number of months in the day, so that's fine. Okay, so this is where we break out of the loop. Right, so is there a potential we could get stuck in this loop? I don't think so. I think it's safe to do that. Okay, so I don't think it matters anything else. Can we continue this with this in mind? Source code does not match the bytecode, I know that. So where are we now? J is now 1. Let's restart it because it's having a real moan about this, isn't it? Come on. There we go. So, schedule tasks. We'll do this one at 8. and it wants to be day of month, day 22. You go, go, go. Okay. So we'll jump back into this loop. We will add 31 there. Come back in. We'll add another 28 there. Add some more there. That's March. And this will add April. And this will be May, right? So we're on 120 right now. And if we were to add the number of days in April, sorry, if we were to add the number of days in May, is that 30 days? $31. Then it would take us to 141, which would be over the days elapsed. So we do not do that. Does that sound right? Should we be at 120? So it wouldn't be 141, that'd be 41, it'd be 131. Is that right? What are we on? We're on J equals 4, which means we've added January, February, March, and April, which should be 31 plus 28 plus 31 plus 31, right? That's 121. And then if we were to add another 31, that would take us to 152. Yes, my math is terrible. Everybody who watches a stream on a regular basis knows that. And mental arithmetic is not my strong point. So there we go. So we've jumped in here. What we're going to say then is that top of month equals the top of the year, which is a timestamp, plus working day of year, which is 120, times 86,400. So what have we got for top of year? Let's have some notes somewhere. Top of year here. So let's evaluate that ourselves then. So if we evaluate top of year, plus 140, no, 120, where was it? 120 times 86,400. Then that gives us this. Copy that value, bang it into the epoch converter. Go. Then that gives us 30th of April, which is totally wrong. Ah, yes, no, it's right, look. In my time, yeah. That gives us the top of the month. Perfectly in the time zone that we're expecting. So let's run that through and make sure that we got the same one, which we should have. What did we get? Let's just triple check that. Copy value. Yep, bang, same. Right, and then it should break out of this loop. And then we have day of month. Now this is the tricky part. We know that this top of the month timestamp is correct. Day of month equals top of working day, which is in our local time zone, minus top of the month, minus the offset. That offset can now go away, I think. So let's evaluate this expression. And that's in seconds. Copy value. So if we do that, divided by 86,400, it gives us 20, which is not the current date. The current date is 21. Now, here's the thing. If the days were 0 indexed, it would be right. So it is right. We need to add 1 to it. So let's get rid of that. So now we have that. We divide it by 86,400 and then we add 1 to it. But we wanted to do it on the 22nd, didn't we? Yes, that's fine. That's fine. So I believe now that we've got this working. And my belief may be misplaced. Let's have a look. Here we are. Schedule tasks. Day of month. Let's do 10 AM for 1 hour. Day 22. Go. Breakfast with mom. No goal. And let's jump right over most of this. We can get rid of that as well. Okay, here we are, day of month. For the current day, the one we're looking at right now, is 21, which is good. Okay, so that means if I resume this and mute my breakpoints, if I look at tomorrow at 10, it's there. Great. There is a couple of things wrong. Don't need this variable anymore. One of them is we need to handle February. So we need to say if it's a leap year, then add 29 days instead of 28 days. And I can't remember exactly how we did that before. We had a function that was, I think it was, if it's divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, it's a leap year. If it's divisible by 4 and 100, then it also has to be divisible by 400 to be a leap year. I think leap. Here it is, somewhere in here. Where is it? Did we put it in here? Here it is, look. This logic here. Let's pull that out. Whoa. What did I do? Okay. Alright, so we'll do a new function, public static int or boolean. Year is leap, and then we'll pass an integer year, and then we'll grab that bit of code that we just got, which is here, and then back up here, int is leap equals false. Actually, you know what? I think we can just do return true, else return false. That's fine. Do we have the year? That's the question. We do down here, don't we? Add leap day equals focus lib, or is it focus lib dot year is leap year? And we can get rid of all that. Okay, so we now have a function that we can use to find out if it's a leap year or not, but we don't have We have top of year. We need the year. So maybe we could do something like if focuslib dot is leap year, focuslib dot year from timestamp, and then working day of, is it top of working day, that one? Then, oh, and it's February. So let's only do that if it's February. If j equals 1, yes, January 0, and that's double equals, then what's the problem with that? Year is leap. That should be okay. Don't really understand. Ah, yeah, of course, because we've caused a bunch of syntax issues. Let's do then that. Okay. Int year equals d in brackets there, and then year is leap year, and we've already got j equals 1, right? So that's fine. Else do that. So then we'd do, okay, what am I doing here exactly? Idiot. Put all of that in the wrong place. Baka. It's here. This is where I needed to do it. If j equals 1, do this. No. Okay, so if that is that, and int year equals focuslib dot get no year from timestamp, timestamp working day of top of working day, and then we can do if year or focuslib dot year is leap year, do that. Working day of year plus that plus 1. Okay, so that's February handled. Let's check that that still works. And then I think we are pretty good. And it's just a case of tidying this stuff up. So let's run it. Schedule tasks, we'll do day of month at, if it is not a leap, you are add nothing. Let's have a look. Thank you for this, M3 Jungle. Ah, you are correct, sir, of course. So I guess what we could do, I just don't want to run this calculation if you know what, I guess it's kind of trivial. No, it's not though, is it? It's not trivial at all. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that, M3 Jungle. Schedule tasks. Day of month. 1600. 1 hour 30 minutes. Day 22nd. Let's do dad's birthday dinner. And hopefully that apostrophe won't break things. There's the one we set earlier, 1600, Dad's birthday dinner. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thus concludes our work, proof of concept wise, because again, this is all exploratory code, which will all be subject to refactoring at a later date. We now have proof of concept for scheduled tasks, which is a wonderful relief. And we have half an hour left to do a bit of tidying up. That's great. Okay, let's have a look at what needs tidying up. So here we go. Top of slots, populate slots from prototype. This is a problem. And it bothers me to no end, but I maybe... It's one of those where it's going to give me a headache, and I've got enough headaches at the moment. Shall I do this now? Let's have a look at what else needs tidying up. Yeah. I don't like it either. We don't need the slot in ID for this. That's okay, that's okay. We do have duplicate code. We could do with having a method that writes that in. Because that's all the same. Where does seconds offset get updated? Okay, so that's there. Right, so what we need then, in order to make this a function, is this part here. Let's do v in curly brackets, wrong curly brackets, v in curly brackets. Okay, let's put that in the k register, and we'll do private, no, public static void, I guess, create slot, and this is going to have a few inputs. It's going to, by the look of it, have a goal ID. It's going to have a top of working day. It's going to have a seconds offset. It's going to have a task ID, a slot size. Is that it? I think so. Okay, and let's... So this is going to be ints, this is going to be ints, this is going to be ints, this is going to be ints. And look at that, another int. Shall we make this look a bit prettier? Probably. And then that there, and then KP. And then let's make sure that this is properly indented. Goal ID we have, don't we? Yep. We have top of working dat, not day. So let's find that. And then that should pop into use. Task ID will go here. Slot size will go here. And we also don't have a database here, so we could do with having that. Focus, what is it? SQLite database, DB equals focus DB. Don't get database. Context. What should we do for context? Let's have a look what we're doing elsewhere. Context. looks like we already have it there, so that's passed in to this, so we need another one. Let's put it in first to follow how Android usually does things. Context. Really don't love that indentation, but what the hell. Right, so that then we can pass context to, and that should give us a function that we can reuse nicely. We could return the slot ID from this, so we could do int and then return this. That ties things up nicely, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, I'm quite happy with that. So everywhere we do this, we need to let's just get these two things first. Task ID and slot size. MA there. And we'll jump up to the top. We should have got some of these things already. Here we are. So yeah, this is a good place to put these things. So we'll do int task. Let's change that. Task ID equals cursor.getInt1. And then we'll jump down here, go to here. Change that to no. Change that to that, and then C. Obviously that's an integer too. Okay, so that's everything that we need. And then we can start tearing out this bit of code here and replacing it. MA, let's jump down to our create slot function, grab this list of things, and you know what, we'll put that in our K register. KY, pardon the pun. So we can do focus lib dot create slot there. Context we can pass straight through, and then we need to remove int. So let's do a command. We'll do replace int space, and does that have to be backspash? Let's try that. Let's try that with nothing. There we go. That's one, and I'm aware I've got questions in the stream. I'm going to come to them shortly after I finish doing this. So let's, that one there. This needs replacing, so we'll V in there, no, D in there, and then P, no, KP, I've done it again. And I'm going to bang this in my K register now. KY. Okay, so now V in curly brackets, KP. That's much nicer. We can get rid of this to do now. And we should be supporting all, so I can get rid of that to do. We should probably check that that bit of refactoring has worked. So let's do that now. Schedule tasks, we'll do every day at 6 AM. We're going to have our morning routine. So did that appear? 6 AM, morning routine. 6 a.m. morning routine, 6 a.m. morning routine. So every day works, which should mean that the rest of them work because they are all similar. Let's just try, we'll do day of year, we'll do May 23rd. For 6 hours. Move house. Create, no goal. 23rd. Where is it? That didn't work, did it? Okay, so we have a bug. It looks as if day of year is broken. Unless I did it wrong. Let's try it again. Day of year. Let's do 8 a.m. Unless it clashed with something. Let's just try it for 30 minutes. May 23rd. Move house. No goal. There it is. Okay, so that did work. Maybe it clashed with something. Not sure. So fairly happy that those are working. So that bit of refactoring is done. Anything else in this file that I don't like? Yes, that is a problem. And then there seems to be some stuff down here. What's this? Don't know why that's been flagged. What's this? Access can be private. Alternative method is never used. Yes, I know it's never used, but I might want to use it later. Okay, I guess we can do private there. What's this? Access can be private. Year is redundant. Okay. Why is year redundant? Where is that one? Year from timestamp. No, I want that to be public. What about this one? Top of year. TS access can be private. I want that to be public. Top of year TS is redundant because we just return it. Not if you're debugging per mate. Access can be private. If statement can be simplified. Access can be private. Okay, don't care about any of those things. That's good. Okay, I'm happy. Let's jump into the stream chat and answer some questions. What have we got? What keyboard is that you are using? It is a Mac keyboard, the standard wireless one with the rechargeable lightning port on the back. It's very nice. It has a low action. If you're a guitar player, you'll know what that means, but basically I don't have to move my fingers very far for this thing to engage. Wasn't sure it looked different. Don't forget using the return slot ID of your new method. Yes. Maybe midnight was causing issues. Maybe. I'm not sure. But there will be plenty of time for all that debugging at a later date. Let's jump into our notes now and have a look, because I suspect we are not quite finished with scheduled tasks. Can you show me the is leap year method again? Of course. Your wish is my command, M3 Jungle. Let's have a look. Year is leap. Here we go. So, I believe you might be the one. Were you the one that gave me the original logic for this? You may have been. So there you go. If year is divisible by 4 and year is not divisible by 100, return true. That space shouldn't be there. Else, if the year is divisible by 4, is divisible by 100, and is divisible by 400, also return true. Otherwise, return false. The else if can be simplified. Well, feel free to suggest how. Hardcore Squirrel says, damn it, Carl, where is the Java library that works with dates and times? It's there. I think there's about 4 of them, to be honest. I wanted to do this myself in case anything went wrong with it. I could fix it myself. Also, I don't like including libraries where I'm only going to be using 1 or 2 functions. Also, I wanted to show people on the stream that what exactly goes into working out things from Unix timestamps and what most date and time libraries do under the hood, so that we could get a better appreciation for some of the good ones out there, such as moment.js. With this being an educational stream, of course. So yes, there is a reason I'm choosing not to use libraries or standard Java libraries where I can help it. Because sometimes it is actually quicker to write them yourself than to try and understand somebody else's logic. Fact. So what have we got? M3 Jungle. If something divisible by 400, it is divisible by 4 and 100. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And once again, that just shows that I am terrible at math. So if something is divisible by 4 and 100, then it's also divisible by 400. So we can get rid of this last clause. Hang on. So yeah, let me just show you how crap at math I am right now. I'm actually thinking, if it's divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, it is a leap year. Is this broken then? Because we're saying return true in both cases, which can't be right. You get rid of the 4 and the 400. Yes, M3 Jungle. Thank you very much. So once again, if you want to be a good programmer, listen to M3 Jungle, because he actually knows what's going on. Whereas I just bumble along with the debugger. There we go. If it's divisible by 400, then of course it is divisible by 4 and 100. So that is now simplified. Okay, that was embarrassing. Let's go back to our notes then and have a look. B notes. There we go. So implement day of month. We've done that. So all that's left to do now to finish off scheduled tasks is every day, or once a day, should I say, the window in which we are operating, and say, okay, so we have an explicit slot table here, right? And our prototype, which is essentially scheduled tasks, is a separate table that helps us to generate these slots, right? But I only want to generate them so far in advance, because for the purposes of this app, I don't think that you're going to want to manually plan every slot of your day ahead more than 30 days. I don't think you're going to want to do that. So in order to keep things simple, every single day we will run a job against this prototype table to see whether we need to add new slots to the new day that has appeared. A wild day appeared. So that's going to be where we pick up from when I come back from moving house. So we'll do call. This is all that remains for scheduled tasks. Start here, right? And then we'll once we've done that, we'll go through all of these notes that we wrote, and we can start doing some more interesting stuff, such as starting reminder, time tracking, a swipe out menu, a better way of deleting slots. What else have we got? We can start thinking about our database and how we want the upgrade path to work. We can fix some of the bugs we've got. These two specifically I don't like at all. We can start looking at the back button presses and where they take us to. We can that's okay. I think that's fixed. yeah, and then hopefully when we get to like this point here, we can start thinking about the look and feel. The look and feel of the app, and start tearing into the way Android Studio allows us to style our applications, which I have absolutely no idea with, other than the bits of constraint layout that I've done so far. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, any more questions in the chat? Let's have a look. I appreciate people implementing this lower level code, but java.util.Gregorian calendar has is leap year instance method. Good to know. Very good to know. And if anybody is watching and doesn't want to implement all of the lower level stuff that I have written, that is a very good tip. So if you want to do this stuff and you don't like writing functions around timestamps and you don't want to do all the date manipulation yourself, then use java.util.Gregorian calendar on Hardcore Squirrel's recommendation. Great, thank you for that, Hardcore Squirrel. Okay guys, if you have any more questions for me, then now is the time to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to check the code that we have written today into Git. And this will be episode 43. So end of episode 43. We have finished implementing day of month. Yes, day of month. Operations for scheduled tasks, and created a method to create the slot to cut down on duplicate code. There we go. Commits. Please commit. There we go. Great. Doesn't look like we have any more questions in the chat, so I know we are 8 minutes early, but I think this is a good place to end the stream and to talk about when I may be back. So there will be no stream tomorrow night because the day after I am moving. I have got to pack all of this lighting equipment and microphone and such up straight after this stream, and there will be no stream on Wednesday night because that's the night I move in. There may be one on Friday, I think, if I've managed to get a desk and get all this equipment set up again. But if not, you'll see me next Monday. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed it or you joined the stream late and you want to catch up, you can go to YouTube, check out the Coding with Carl channel. That's Coding with a K, Carl with a K. I have a Zero to Android playlist here, which contains all the previous episodes of this show. And if you subscribe, you'll get updates every time I upload something. Thank you to everybody who follows me on Twitch. It's very encouraging to see the number of followers growing every stream. Thank you very much, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Okay, guys, nothing left for me to say apart from have a good night. Enjoy writing code. Don't be intimidated by Java or anything else because everyone can do it. And I will see you as soon as is possible. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.